MJS December 1990 says, will you be doing an Age of Empires Let's Play? Yes, I would like to do Age of Empires 3. That's on the list for strategy game someday. But again, given how long it's taken me to do all the LPs that I've done, it'll be a while. Roman Fuentes. Thank you, MJS December 1990. Sorry, moving on. Roman Fuentes says, congrats, man. Your dedication to the channel makes me think you deserve this and more. My questions. Which small mods would you say make the bigger difference when playing Oblivion Skyrim? Not talking about the overhaul mods or big mods like Frostfall, just little details that helped you enjoy the games that much more. Do you think the Mass Effect 3 ending is as bad as people say? I'd love to get a full video on it when you get there on your series. Which game got you into the whole immersive role-play style of gaming? For me, it was Oblivion. I reinstall it once every year. Love that game. He's got a whole bunch of questions, does Roman. Any underrated games that we should totally play? Sorry if this is a bit much, but this seems like the perfect time to ask random stuff, so there it is. Again, congrats and keep it up. Okay, let me get a drink here, and then I'll tackle your questions. Whew, all this talking is making me thirsty. These pretzels are making me thirsty. Right, so first things first. Which small mods would I say make the bigger difference in playing Oblivion Skyrim? Well, I just went on and on about Duke Patrick's combat mods, which I wouldn't classify them as small. Certainly good, though. I would say that for Oblivion, certainly. Since you ruled out the overhaul mods. Yeah, I would say Duke Patrick. For Skyrim, what mod besides Frostfall? Smaller mod. Little details that help me enjoy the game that much more. I think maybe the inconspicuous NPC mod that I played with helped. It adds people to the game, so it just makes it feel a little bit more populated generally. No, I take it back. You know what? Well, that was a fine mod. Don't let me shortchange it. But I think it's called Immersive Factions. Is a mod for Skyrim that adds parties that kind of travel the wilderness and the roads that you can encounter. They can be Stormcloaks or Imperials. They can be bandits. They can be vampires. They can be it's a whole bunch of different types. And that actually really contributed, I think, to me enjoying the game of Skyrim much more. Made the world feel more populated. Made it feel like there were people doing things independent of you. You know, people out there doing their own things. You were just you weren't like some superhero walking around in the game. You were just one of many people trying to accomplish something in Skyrim. It helped quite a bit with that. Do I think the Mass Effect 3 ending is as bad as people say? I don't like the Mass Effect 3 ending, but I don't hate it for a lot of the quoted reasons that people mention. People say like, oh, it's just the same ending with 3 different colors, or that stupid kid, or hey, why didn't I get to find out what happens to everybody at the end of the game, that kind of thing. That's all fine. I mean, they didn't do, I don't think, as good a job with that as they could have, but it's fine by me. I don't care that much. What really bugged me was when you get to the end of the game, and the whole 3-game series, Shepard, no matter if you play Paragon or Renegade, he's always been all about destroying the Reapers. We're going to destroy this Reaper threat. We must destroy the Reapers. He's been like the only person in the galaxy who said from day one, we have to destroy the Reapers. And then when you see the kid on the Crucible, or is it the Citadel that I think you're on the Citadel. You're on a part of the Citadel that you've never seen before. And Shepard just takes direction from the kid. It's just like, here's what's happening, here's what's going on, this is what you have the choice to do. Shepard's like, oh, okay. It's like, what? Dude, what happened to fuck fate, I'm destroying the Reapers? Like, I don't, you just stop being Shepard for the end there, which kind of bugged me. Felt like an inconsistency of character, I guess. That's what bugged me the most about the ending. Is it as bad as people say? People lost their freaking minds over the end of Mass Effect 3. I don't really think that was fair. But that said, I don't think it was very good. But I'm not going to, like, write a freaking letter to the editor or anything. I'm not going to tell Mass Effect, or I'm not going to tell BioWare on Twitter that they failed or something like that. It's fine, whatever. Let's see. Which game got you into the whole immersive roleplay style of gaming? Yeah, it was Oblivion for me too. Oblivion was the first Elder Scrolls roleplay game that I played. And it was the first one where I felt like I could actually do the role-playing immersive thing and get lost in it. Other games, there's a lot of things that, well, there are some games where you try to role-play it and decisions that you have to make or places that you have to go kind of take you out of the roleplay. Like if you have a quest and you have no choice, you have to go to this next area now to fight this bad guy. And it's like, oh, well, what if my character didn't want to do that just yet? What if he wanted to go do something else? And the Elder Scrolls games allow you to do that. So yeah, I would say it's the Elder Scrolls. Oblivion, specifically. Any underrated games that we should totally play? I'm probably not going to know about underrated games. Because I just don't expose myself to that many new games these days. I've got probably 30 or so games that I've bought on Steam in the last 2 years that I have not played a single minute of because I've been busy with LPing for you guys, and otherwise I just don't really get the chance to play them. So, whole bunch of games that I'm looking forward to playing. I'm not the expert on underrated games though. And not to criticize you specifically, Roman, but the notion of underrated, overrated has kind of started to bug me, honestly. I know that in the Skyrim LP I talked about Oblivion and Morrowind and which one was overrated and which one was underrated and what that actually means, but I've kind of changed my opinion since then on the terms overrated and underrated generally. It just kind of... I would rather just say that I liked or didn't like something. To say something is overrated or underrated to me means that everyone else is wrong about it. You know, this game is overrated means that I know the true value of this game, you bastards don't. Or to say that a game is underrated means I know the true value of this game, you bastards aren't giving it the right amount of respect. Which is just, I don't know. When you're online these days, so many people have strong opinions about everything, and it's like, dude, how can you be that confident about everything that you voice your opinion on? Surely you have to have some qualifiers here and there. And so I've been trying consciously to use underrated and overrated less because it feels like I don't like to claim that kind of authority for myself that I know better than everybody else who's played a game. You know. Anyway, that was not at all related to your question, but that just kind of popped in my head. So thank you for the questions, Roman. I think I answered them all. And I appreciate that you asked me a lot of questions. Don't feel bad about that at all. That's totally cool. I like getting questions from everyone, and I like answering them just as well. Levi Cruzmeyer says, what is your full name and your favorite game? I will decline to give you my full name, because that's a little too much information. But if you have watched other videos on my channel, you may know that my first name is William. I'm not afraid to tell you my first name. My first name is William, and I'm left-handed. So there you go. There's 2 personal details about me. What's my favorite game? Probably Mass Effect. It's the one I keep coming back to. The last time I played Mass Effect before I started LPing it was like 2 or 3 years ago. The Mass Effect series, I mean. And I had so much fun playing the series, and then I got to the end of Mass Effect 3 and I finished it, and I thought, like it was the second or third time that I played Mass Effect 3, so it wasn't like I was new to the ending. But even so, after playing the whole series and finishing the game, I was like, man, that ending left such a bad taste in my mouth. I don't know if I'll ever play this series again. And then sure enough, 2 short years later, I'm LPing. I'm like, oh man, I can't wait to LP Mass Effect. This is going to be so much fun. So yeah, Mass Effect, I'll always come back to Mass Effect, I think. I'll be a 60-year-old AARP member, and I'll be coming back to Mass Effect, probably. So thank you, Levi. Aracor says, I would like to see you do this one as a vlog, whilst you're talking about your experience with Morrowind. I won't do a vlog or vlog, if that's how you say it. I don't know. I'm freaking 34 years old. I'm not hip anymore. I don't look good on camera. I don't like to be on camera. I'm too self-conscious. I can't do it well. That said, though, if you go back to my 1,000 subscriber special and queue up part 3, there's a good 8-minute stretch where I actually address questions on camera. So you're welcome to check that out. If any of you want to see what I look like, that's where you should go. 1,000 subscribers, part 3. You'll see me in all my bearded glory. My experience with Morrowind. Limited compared to Skyrim and Oblivion. I've played through Morrowind a couple times now with a few different characters, but there's something about Morrowind's gameplay that makes it tougher for me to get into a character deeply. And again, I don't think it's the mechanics. I kind of think it's how NPCs in that world, in that game, work. They don't move around. Like, they don't go places, they don't do things, they just kind of hang out in their location all the time. They occasionally walk to and from, a couple different points, but it's hard to... I feel like when I play Morrowind, I feel like I'm the only living thing in that game. Whereas when I'm playing Oblivion or Skyrim, I feel like I'm just one of many living things in that game. I don't know if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense, but... Yeah, so I've enjoyed playing Morrowind, but when I do, it just kind of feels like, I feel like kind of an alien here. Feels like everybody else is robots, Hard to feel like I'm talking to actual characters when I'm talking to them. And again, I don't think that's due to the lack of voice, because a lot of the dialogue in that game is text, it's not spoken. I don't think it's that, although some of you are probably thinking, it's that. That's what it is. No, I don't think it's that. Because I've played other games that were almost entirely text, and I've had no problem at all getting into the characters and feeling like they were real people. Wasteland 2 is a perfect example of that. And the original Wasteland 2. The original Wasteland also, I should have said 2. Both of those games are examples of text dialogue where the characters actually feel like real people. Morrowind NPCs didn't feel like I was talking to real people. It just felt like I was talking to bulletin boards, So it's hard for me to really get into a Morrowind LP or role-playing character. Easier to just kind of play a super character who runs around and does whatever he or she wants. So thank you, Ericor, for the question. I appreciate it. Sorry I couldn't do this one as a vlog, whatever. Beastie Chicken says, Pem, so cool seeing your channel grow from when I started watching at 500 subs. Did you ever think you would be a gamer on YouTube going through high school or whatever, and do you ever plan on showing your face? Same to you, Beastie. If you'd like to see my face, go to the 1,000 subscriber special part 3. When I was in high school, there was no such thing as YouTube, so no, I never imagined I would be making videos on YouTube. When I was in high school, the most advanced internet connection was DSL. That was as crazy as it got. A lot of people when I was in high school still had 56K modems, so the idea of having videos online was just like crazy. You had to wait like a minute and a half for an entire photo to download. So yeah, the notion that you could do videos online was just that was completely foreign. Never thought in a million years I would be doing this. So thank you, Beastie Chicken, for the question. I appreciate it. Brian Balson Stanton says, do you have plans to start a Patreon? I did not until you mentioned that. I never in a million years thought that a Patreon system would really work for me. Never even occurred to me. I have a number of subscribers. I have a number of fans, I think, who like me a lot, but I never really felt comfortable asking for money from them. I don't know. I mean, if you guys think it's a good idea, I would consider it, but just it doesn't feel... It's not that it doesn't feel right. Maybe it doesn't feel earned yet? I don't know. I guess I could start it, and if you guys want to donate, you would donate, and if you don't want to, then you wouldn't. So I would only get money from people who wanted to donate. It's not like I would be forcing somebody to pay who doesn't want to pay. So I guess I'll consider it, but yeah, honestly, I'd never thought of it. I've seen other people who have it. Obviously, Gopher has it. But I always thought, like, oh, Gopher, well, he's a superstar. That's why he's got it. I always figured I kind of had to reach some kind of superstar status first. But you've given me pause for thought, Brian, so thank you for your question. Bancho Sauce says, Pem, why are you so goddamn sublime? Haha, congrats, man. I don't know. I didn't know I was sublime, but thank you very much, Bancho Sauce. That's very kind of you. If I had to guess why I am sublime, I don't know. People tell me I have a very soothing voice, very calming, pleasant voice to listen to. I don't know that I agree, but that's what people say, so that could have something to do with it, I guess. Thanks, Bancho. Aaron D says, if you're as loathsome as you claim, then why do I keep watching your videos? Only one possibility, Aaron, I'm afraid. You must be as equally loathsome as I am. It's tough to hear, I'm sure, from an internet personality, but there you go. Alright, we're on the... Oh no, I thought we were on the last page. We're on the second to last page of comments and questions. This calls for a drink of water, I'm sorry. Okay, here goes. Lizzie Mortus says, congratulations, Pem. Keep up the great work. Only 2 questions. Do you like music from Spellforce, The Order of Dawn, that I have suggested you some time ago? And if so, will you put some tracks into your Oblivion LP? It would be great to hear a few songs deep in Ayleid Ruins or during battle. And second, what kind of music do you listen to? That's it for now, I think, so wish you 1,000,000 subs, and I join with you in a drink. And then he or she speaks some Polish, which I will try to pronounce, though I don't know a damn thing about Polish. Nazdrowi. To which Rajers91, who was someone who asked me a comment that I answered earlier, asked me a question rather, said, Witam Rodak. I'm sorry, guys. I think that's how you pronounce it. To which Lizzie Mortus responded, Witam się również. You Poles that are listening are laughing at my pronunciation right now. Nazdrowi means basically cheers, as far as I can tell. Witam Rodak, I think, means hello, something like hello, fellow countrymen, hello, fellow, hello, fellow countrymen, basically. And Lizzie Mortis' response, I think, means something like hello to you as well. So there you go. We've got Poles meeting up on my channel. How exciting is that? I like Poles personally. I lived in Chicago for a number of years, and Chicago celebrates Kazimierz Pulaski Day. Kazimierz Pulaski was a Pole who assisted the American army during the Revolutionary War. Kind of like a Polish Lafayette. And so the city of Chicago, which has a very large Polish immigrant population, celebrates Kazimierz Pulaski Day. So I learned a lot about Poles just by living in Chicago and thinking, like, what the hell is Kazimierz Pulaski Day? That's how I learned about it. Also, when I was in college, my favorite professor was a Polish American. Last name was Blachowicz. And he told a funny story one time about his wife is Italian. He's Polish. And he told a funny story one time about seeing a headline in a newspaper about a downhill skier in the Olympics. And he and his wife laughed and said, oh, that could be, the title of our obituary if you, my wife, outlive me. And the title of the article was Italian survives loss of her pole. Which it's a pun. It's a very simple pun, but I thought it was very funny. I laughed when he told that story in class, and I don't think anybody else laughed. I was the only one laughing at it. Let's see. Okay, anyway, so Lizzie, your questions. I gotta remember that I need to answer them. The music from Spellforce. Yeah, I checked it out. Very pretty. I enjoyed it quite a lot. That said, I don't think I'll add it to the Oblivion LP because I've got so many tracks in the Oblivion LP as it is. And also, I like to play a game with its music in it on its own first before I move it around into other games' music folders, because I like to try to get a feel for the music of the game in the game. For example, back when I did the Skyrim LP, I started playing Banner Saga, which has a fantastic soundtrack, some of which appears in this Oblivion LP. But I refrained from adding that music to the Skyrim LP because I wanted to play it. I wanted to play the game first and get used to the soundtrack in that game first. So yes, I really enjoy Spellforce soundtrack, but I won't add it to the Oblivion LP for now. What kind of music do I listen to? I will listen to almost anything. I enjoy rock and roll, I enjoy blues, I enjoy funk. I can listen to jazz, though I don't go out of my way for it. I will listen to old school country music, Hank Williams and Johnny Cash and Patsy Cline and musicians like that. Up to like around the Waylon Jennings era, I'll listen to, Willie Nelson, that kind of thing. I don't enjoy the current crop of American pop country music. It just is like sand in my ears. It's terrible. I can't stand it. I know there are a lot of people out there who like it, and I don't mean to criticize their tastes. It just does not work for me. I don't really listen to metal because it's just too harsh. I need something with a melody, which I think I've said before. And again, that's not to criticize fans of metal. I don't mean to say that your taste in music is wrong. It's just something that doesn't work for me. But otherwise, I'll listen to almost anything. I enjoy classical music. My favorite classical composers are probably everyone's favorite classical composers: Beethoven, Bach, and I was going to say Brahms, but no, Mozart. Beethoven, Bach, and Mozart are my three favorites. Other composers that I enjoy that aren't those three, Bela Bartok is actually probably my favorite composer outside of those three. Hungarian composer, very bombastic, hard to listen to unless you're just in a kind of a rambunctious mood. It's not the kind of classical music you put on to go to bed to. And also Mussorgsky, a Russian composer, I enjoy. Tchaikovsky is very good too, now that I think about it. And so is Shostakovich. I like Shostakovich. A few Russian composers that I like. Let's see. Oh, that's it. That's all your questions, Lizzie. So thank you for asking. I appreciate it. And Nazdrovi to you as well. Cheers. Okay. Enigmas, the guy, says, really enjoy your content. So what is your favorite movie and why? It's a tough one. I have a lot of favorite movies. I like to separate it by genre. In the action genre, I would say that RoboCop or Total Recall or Die Hard are my favorite action movies. In the comedy genre, I would say Blazing Saddles or Life of Brian. Young Frankenstein is up there. So is Tropic Thunder. In the... I don't know what other genres are there. Dr. Strangelove is in the comedy genre as well. Sci-fi, I would say that 2001 is a favorite. Wrath of Khan is a favorite. I really like the movie Sunshine, the Danny Boyle movie, though I know that it's not a lot of people's favorites. But I enjoy it. What other genres are there? Drama, I guess. I really enjoy Coen Brothers movie. I don't think there's a single Coen Brothers movie that I've seen that I don't like, but that's probably true for everybody. Everybody loves the Coen Brothers. My favorite Coen Brothers movie is probably Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Or True Grit. True Grit was fantastic. Man, it was so good. Jeff Bridges is flippin' awesome, and Matt Damon is really good too. The whole cast is just great. Barry Pepper's great. The young lady, Haley Steinfeld, something like that, was very good. I haven't seen her in anything since then, but I imagine she's getting work. She was incredible. But yeah, True Grit was great. I love Westerns. I really enjoy Westerns. The Searchers is a favorite. Once Upon a Time in the West is a favorite. The Dollars trilogy, the Fistful of Dollars, Few Dollars More, and The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly are all favorites of mine. I also enjoy samurai movies. I really like Kurosawa. I like Yojimbo and Seven Samurai, and what's the other one? Oh, Sanjuro. Anything with Tohiro Mifune is pretty good. Oh, and what's the director's name? Miike. I can't think of his first name. Japanese director. Did like The Audition. He does he releases a movie like every 6 months, like that. He does a whole bunch of movies. But a few years ago, 2012, 2011, 2013, something like that, he released a movie called 13 Assassins, which was a lot of fun. It was right up my alley. It was a bunch of dudes teaming up to kill a bad guy with samurai swords. It's like, you can't go wrong. It's fantastic. So there you go. Those are the movies that I tend to like. Mr. Bloodstone99 said, Mr. Bloodstone99 asks the same question. He says, what is your favorite movie or movie series? Here we go. That's why I kept it separate, because it's a movie series. Movie series? Star Wars is up there. Lord of the Rings is up there. The original Star Trek movies are up there. Star Trek 2, 4, and 6 are my favorites, though I really like Star Trek 3 as well. I feel like Star Trek 3 people kind of group into the bad Star Trek movies, but I think it's good. Favorite movie series? What other movie series are there even? I guess all the Marvel movies would count. I have enjoyed Marvel movies individually, but there's no, like... I guess Guardians of the Galaxy has probably been my favorite Marvel movie so far. But there's no one movie that I would say, like, holy crap, that's now in my favorite movies of all time category. They've all been good. But I guess I'm not too big into comic book superheroes. I was really into Superman when I was a kid, because who wouldn't be? But I never really got into comic books as a teenager. I never really read X-Men, never read Avengers, never read any Batman comics or anything like that. So yeah, the Marvel movies, while they're good, and I enjoy watching them, I've watched every one that I've had the availability to watch. Seen a few of them in theaters. I've seen Avengers in theaters and Guardians of the Galaxy in theaters. Is that it? That might be the only ones I've seen in theaters. Yeah, I think so. So that's an example of how big of a comic book movie fan I am. I will see them when I can, but I don't particularly go out of my way either. So movie series, probably Star Wars, Star Trek, or Lord of the Rings, which I think probably those three would be in everybody's top 5, I bet, of movie series, just because there aren't too many movie series, out there still that everybody thinks of as universally awesome. Maybe The Hunger Games will be up there someday, or Harry Potter, I guess. Actually, those two will probably be up there someday. What else? I mean, Twilight. Trying to think what else. What other movie series would be considered? No, I guess that's not fair. There's like RoboCop 2 and 3. But no, I mean, RoboCop 1 was awesome. RoboCop 2 was okay. I've never seen 3. I haven't even bothered. Looked like crap. Anyway, there you go. I answered the question. Thank you, Mr. Bloodstone99. Also, thank you, Enigmas the Guy, for the movie-related question. Dillendorf2000 says, congrats, Pem. What is your preferred genre, sci-fi or fantasy? Sci-fi, honestly. Might surprise a little bit of you, since the majority of my LPs have been fantasy-related, but yes, sci-fi is my favorite genre. I love it. Dune is my favorite book series, I think, of possibly of all time. Larry Niven is one of my favorite authors. He's a sci-fi author. Kim Stanley Robinson is one of my favorite authors. He's a sci-fi author. I love sci-fi movies like 2001 and Sunshine and all the Star Trek movies, and what's some others? Hang on. Other sci-fi movies that I really enjoy. I'm trying to think. Rats, I wish I would have written some ideas down. Thinking on the fly, I can't really think of any. The problem is, a lot of my movies are in storage still, because I haven't moved into my new house yet. I have a few that I've bought since I moved up to Minneapolis from Chicago that I have in my possession currently, but the rest of them are all in storage somewhere, so... sorry I couldn't answer your question better, Dillendorf2000, but yes, sci-fi is definitely my favorite. I really enjoy fantasy, don't get me wrong. Lord of the Rings, I read that book series once every 4 years or so, including the Silmarillion and the Hobbit. I reread them every 4 years because I love it so much. But even so, I think sci-fi is my favorite genre. Thank you, Dylan. Laura Little Fox Owens, who's been a watcher of mine for some time, says, what is your favorite sci-fi and why? Favorite sci-fi TV series by far is Farscape. I love Farscape so much. In fact, it might be my favorite sci-fi of all time. Farscape was fantastic. If we're talking movies, I'd say probably 2001. 2001 I've watched probably 6 times, and it's just, I freaking love it. I was an anthropology major in college because I really enjoy learning about history and the human past, where we've come from, and I really enjoy things like astronomy and physics, learning about it, in the armchair sense. I'm not well versed academically, but I really enjoy learning about those things and watching specials on them because I feel like that's kind of where we're going, astronomy, and I feel like sci-fi is kind of it's the tool that we use to understand where we're going. So in my mind, history and anthropology, 2 of my larger interests, are where we've come from, and sci-fi and astronomy are where we're going. And so I think that to myself, that's kind of why I like those as much as I do. But yeah, 2001 I think kind of hits all my buttons there because it's about humans in the past, it's about humans in the present, and it's about humans in the future. And it kind of tries to address, like, what is it that we're doing here, and where are we going, and all that stuff. So yeah, 2001 is fantastic. Thank you, Laura, for the comment and the question. Scruff138 says, have you traveled a lot? If so, which country was your favorite to visit? I've not traveled a lot. I've been to Mexico and I've been to Canada here in North America. Once each. Nothing major. I went to Toronto in Canada, and I went to Maya Riviera in Mexico. The only other place I've traveled outside of the U.S. is I've been to Europe once and Africa once. I've been in the same trip. I went to Spain and Morocco, and Portugal. I've traveled a bit within the United States. I'd say I've probably visited about half the states, either literally visiting there or just driving through. Been to probably about half the states. Which country was my favorite to visit? I would say Spain. Spain was my favorite. Madrid was flippin' gorgeous. If I could travel again and spend an entire vacation in Spain, I would do it in a heartbeat. It was absolutely beautiful. Thank you very much, Scruff, for the question. Christian Orellana says, congratulations, Pem. I just started watching your channel a few weeks ago, and I gotta say, of all the other channels I watch, you and one other have been the only ones that responds to all or most comments. To me, that's a plus. Thank you, Christian. I do make an effort to respond to every comment that is put to me, unless it's something where I can't literally say anything else other than like, hey, +1, buddy. Thanks for the comment, in which case I just give you a thumbs up. But if there's ever a question or anything, I try to answer it. Christian continues, I guess I only have a few questions. Where in the States are you? Do you have another job besides making awesome videos? What's your favorite type of wine? Relationship. How old are you? Would you consider playing Starbound? Lore isn't too built up yet, but would be interesting. Feel free not to answer if you feel it's too personal. Keep it up, man. Hope your channel keeps growing. Also, would you consider playing Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2 with mods? That would be amazing. Let's see. Let's start at the beginning. Where in the States am I? I am living in the Twin Cities in Minnesota. I live in a suburb just outside of Minneapolis. The house that my family and I own, that we're going to be moving into hopefully soon, is in a town called Robbinsdale, Minnesota. Do I have another job besides making awesome videos? Yes, I'm an administrative assistant for an accounting firm in Minneapolis, downtown Minneapolis. It's not a sexy job, but it pays the bills and it gives my family health care and some savings for retirement and things like that, which is the most important thing when you have 2 kids. Let's see. What's your favorite type of wine? Easy. Malbec, without a doubt. Argentinian Malbec, I will kill for. Relationship, yes. My fiance and I have actually been together now for 10 years. Our 10-year anniversary was this month in October. and it's been fantastic. We've had our ups and downs, but we are a very healthy couple, I think. Healthy relationship. Anything can change, of course, but I'm very happy with who I'm with, and she has helped me grow as a person immensely, and she's a great mother to my children, to our children as well. She's a fantastic mom. So I literally could not have lucked out any better than I did. She's fantastic. How old am I? I was born in June of 1981, so as of this recording, I am 34 years old. Would you consider playing Starbound? I would totally consider it. I don't know anything about it, but yes, thank you for the suggestion. I would totally consider it. Would you consider playing Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2? Yes, they are both on the list of games that I will LP someday. I own both of them. I have played KOTOR 1. I've never played KOTOR 2, though I hear it's good and interesting, and even better if you add a mod that completes some things that weren't finished by the developers before it was released. So I would intend to do that when I LP it someday. So yeah, thank you, Christian. I appreciate the comment and the questions. And lastly, here we go. We're finally at the end. Hijack and Infinity gets the last question. And he says, this is perhaps the most important question in the entire Q&A here. If you have to choose, would you rather be a Klingon or an Orc? And of course, why? Easy. Klingon. 10 times out of 10, I would choose Klingon. Way more fun. Orcs are universally, well, maybe not universally, Orcs are classically portrayed as bad guys. And while Klingons are antagonists in a lot of Star Trek material, they're also really freaking cool. They're like honorable and warriors. I don't know how Klingon society would actually work in real life. I don't think it would. It's kind of like Dunmer society. It's like a cool society in a fictional sense, but there ain't no way in hell a society like that would work in real life. It would collapse instantly, you know. Japanese, like feudal society, I think maybe comes closest to what Klingon would be. But even that, you know, there were a few warriors and nobles who stood on the backs of hundreds of thousands of peasant farmers, you know. You don't, I don't know if the Klingon Empire could actually have an empire of warriors without having just an enormous number of slaves and underclass people, you know. But that said, fictionally speaking, they're awesome. And orcs are almost always portrayed as just bad guys. Straight up bad guys. You know, Tolkien orcs are just evil monsters, basically. I know that there are other properties that treat orcs differently, like the Elder Scrolls, for instance, or Warcraft, but not attractive enough. Klingon all the way, baby. I'd love to just headbutt dudes as a Klingon. I'd be like, if I was a Klingon, I would be like full on. I'd be like, and I'd be like challenging everybody I see to an arm wrestle, and I'd talk about, Well, you guys, we were almost done, and then the game crashed. But anyway, what I was saying was, yes, I'd totally choose to be a Klingon. I would be so freaking Klingon, like honor and dishonor and violence and all that. I would be so Klingon that other Klingons would get like sick of me. They'd be like, dude, tone it down a little bit. We get it. You're a Klingon. That's how Klingon I would be. I would be to the hilt a Klingon. So that's the Q&A, everyone. Thank you very much for paying attention. If you did actually make it all the way through, congratulations. Well done. So, in your honor, again, this is a big thank you to you guys, my audience, without whom I would probably not be doing this to the degree that I am. The response that I get from you guys is what encourages me to keep doing it as often as I do, to upload videos as many times as I can, and to keep engaging with you guys in the comments. So thanks so much for the attention, and for your thoughtful and considerate comments and questions. Very much appreciated, and in honor of you guys, the audience, I will now drain my glass. Join me if you'd like. And there it is, my 4,000 subscriber Q&A. So I don't think I'll do another one until probably 6,000 subscribers, unless that happens somehow miraculously within like a few months or something. But otherwise, thank you very much, guys, for watching, and stay tuned for more LP videos to be uploaded soon. enjoy Oblivion, Mass Effect 2, Crusader Kings 2, or whatever else on my channel strikes your fancy. And again, thank you very much for watching and being fantastic. Take care, everyone. I will see you around.